Let's take that out. All right, are we on there? Let's see that one. There we are. There we are. Are we there? Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Good evening. Can you guys see us? I think that
give that a thumbs up.
Yeah, just give us a thumbs up if you can see us. I'm not sure.
And hear us.
And hear us. Yeah, let's see quickly. Oh, yes, we are live. Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Kings and queens and princes and princesses.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm Kendrick.
And I'm Rochelle.
Oh, yes, and you are live with Kendrick and Rochelle. Well, we are on here this evening because we want to come and have some fun. We want to connect with you guys. We want, and as, let me just take that out. Whoops. All right. Sorry. Let me just go back in there. Oh, there. Hey, technology, huh? All right, there we go. There we go. Well, we are on here this evening because we want to connect with you guys. We want to, as you guys know, that we are here to share our story. And whilst we share it, hopefully it will encourage somebody. It will motivate somebody. It will give somebody else a voice to say, wow, I can tell my story too. So we're just going to get straight into it and not waste any time. But thank you so much for joining us. We know on a Sunday, you know, when you come from church or you've been out with the family, it's a long day. You just want to put up your feet and just relax and maybe, suck on a lolly or something. She did it.
Okay, let's just get to the point.
She did it again, guys. She did it again. Okay. She kicked me again.
Okay.
All right. She's just trying to tell me that, Kendrick, you need to get on with it, okay? Because it's too long. But listen, yeah, we're gonna pick up where we left off last time. Can you remember where we left off?
You can do a recap, and you could recap.
I know we're not gonna. If you want the recap, you just go to the previous session. I can't remember where we left off last time. But what we want to do this evening, we want to talk about the challenge that we've experienced. As you know, us being a mixed race couple. That in itself came with some challenges,
and choices.
And choices. Good evening, Mr. Omoti. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to have you. Thank you so much for jumping on. That being a mixed couple, that in itself came with challenges, and I think us sharing that part of our journey is kind of like. There's some lessons in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's some lessons in there. And I think it leans more towards her side because I think for me...
I faced the biggest walls.
Yeah. She was the one that had to fight. She's the one that had to fight. And I kind of like had it a bit easy because when my parents and everybody else around me saw, whoa, this is what Kendrick is bringing home. It's like, yeah, I need to make you my friend. No, I'm being serious because remember, I came from a small town and everybody is kind of like, there's a certain standard that, that everybody's kind of like measured with. And I came home I came home with a lady where the hair is hanging way down here. I'm like, Kendrick, stop it.
Really?
But anyway, actually, let me just put it this way. Hey, Norman, good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for jumping on, sir. Good to have you. Actually, I was told last week you need to calm down. You are too all over the place. You are too loud.
Too excited. Goodness me, I jumped in my seat.
You know what? I don't want you guys to fall asleep. I want you to stay awake because obviously you need to hear the journey. But tonight I'm gonna calm down a little bit.
10 minutes later,
I'm gonna calm down. And I'm gonna just let her take the lead because
we're both gonna take the lead, darling. You just fill in the gaps, okay?
I'll fill in the gaps, yeah. So shall I just pass it on to you, and then kind of like you just...
I think we'll talk together because obviously we both live the story.
Yeah.
This part of it. Obviously, the journey started as being a mixed race couple. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy journey, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we spoke about how we met in the
that's right.
In the previous video. But obviously, as things progressed, I think in our relationship, we got to a stage where I know you told your family, I told my family, but I think very, very early in the courtship, we realized, okay, this was like it for us, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds strange because we've never had relationships before, but I know from my side, me personally, talking about me, I just knew, okay, this was it for me.
Yeah.
But there were conditions that I'd
Yeah.
kind of laid, very clear conditions.
Yeah.
And you kind of passed some of them. You know, the tick list.
Yeah.
There was a tick list.
Yeah.
You weren't on the tick list, but eventually you decided to come to, you know, my way of doing things. Just a good way of doing things.
I know. Let's just say hi to just a couple of guys here. Dashni. Hi. Thank you so much for jumping on, Dashni. Good to have you. Oh yes.
All the way from Essex.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, your friends with Roland. Oh yeah, my good friend. Yeah. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, so we started to obviously let the family know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know my mom, bless her, my poor little mom. And if you have moms who are really protective and really invested and really always worried about their children, if you know, I used to have an Indian mom, you know, and you grow up in a very conservative Indian family. And at the time, majority of my family actually had converted to Christianity because at 16 I got born again, and I know that is another story we'll share with them as well.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, but then most of them had got born again. My mom was very protective of me, but having said that, I lived in Johannesburg at the time, and my mom was still in Durban, so I was by myself, you know, studying. And within the first year of coming and arriving at Johannesburg, I met you, and I'm studying as well and doing a placement at the hospital there. And then things was just whirlwind. It was, everything happened so quickly. I don't even know how we ended up getting to where we are right now. When you think about it, almost 23 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah,
But it was all about decisions. It's one of the things that we speak between ourselves, was making decisions. But I understand what it means, like, to have childlike faith, because back then it was, we had childlike faith, because I was quite completely ignorant about relationships and stuff. And I remember when I met you and I realized, okay, this is the guy for me, and I'm going to stand my ground. But my family obviously had other opinions.
All right.
Especially my mom and dad, like, kind of thing.
I don't mean to interrupt you. All right. I'm just going to dive in here. She just said there was a time that you realized the light came on.
Oh,
no.
Gonna go with the light now.
No, wait.
Okay.
There was a time when the light bulb went on, and it's like, no, you just said that. And you realize that this is the guy for me. Now, what I want to find out, so when did
interview me now?
No.
It's okay. That's the best way to get information.
Yeah. So when did that kind of like when did that happen? Because maybe you've told me before, but I can't remember.
Okay, but our timeline of our relationship, February we met each other, but July I already know that was it. That's how quickly it was for me in my heart.
Say that again.
February we met each other.
Yeah.
And in July I already knew that we were like, I knew that
where
my heart was.
Guys, did you hear that? We met in February. By July, she knew already this is the guy for me.
Yeah, but the thing is, but you knowing yourself as a person, and I knew I never wanted a relationship at that stage. Remember, I was only 19 at the time when I met, almost 20. Sorry, almost 20. Because you turned 21 that year, and I was turning 20 in that March. Yeah. And I wasn't looking for a relationship. I wasn't looking for anything of the sort. Yeah. But I was around people that were very like-minded in that they were looking for relationships. And, you know, all I did was just make a note on a piece of paper, write it down on what I wanted, because, you know, it says make your vision plain, write it down, you know, and run with that vision. So a lot of things were in my vision.
So let's pull it back. So because what we're doing tonight, we're talking about the challenges that we've experienced.
Okay, so
let's
okay. So finally, you tick the tick list, and I decided, okay, this is it. We went through sorry.
So hey, Mr. Jordan, thank you so much for jumping on. Norman, my wife sent her. Oh my goodness! Please pass our regards also on to your missus. Thank you so much, sir. Please tell her we say hi. All right.
Hi. I forgot where I left.
You forgot.
It's probably interrupting me.
You need to remember.
Okay. Our journey. Let's be time conscious. So fine. So I remember saying to my mom and dad, okay, this is the situation, and obviously, my mom was obviously quite scared. My dad was like, you know, how my daddy is light-hearted, I laugh about everything. So easygoing. Yeah. And the fact that you played the guitar, my daddy already liked you, didn't he? Because my dad is like a musician. You know, he plays by ear. He plays every instrument, and he plays the guitar.
So that kind of like was a place for us to connect.
And I think I'll still connect up to this day when it comes to playing the guitar. You and my daddy, right? And I'll never forget. So the way things happened is, like, my extended family, my mom's family, weren't too keen with my relationship with Ken. And I remember after we kind of made it the kind of official that we were like courting, I got a call from my uncle saying, "Oh, mom is visiting, and they're having like a family meeting, like a prayer meeting
here.
at home."
Look here, they call a meeting because of the.
Because my mom's family are very well off financially, and it's like
like
a very big family, so they called this meeting, and I remember going down to my uncle's house.
Now it's funny, but that time
it wasn't funny. It wasn't. That time it wasn't. Because I felt really deceived because I didn't realize why they were called. They made it in the guise of anything to do with church. I would run.
Yeah. They use the church. They use the church to get it to the house.
Was an amazing man, bless him, a very playful man.
Absolutely.
And so we're having a church meeting at home, and you come, mom is here, and I was like, okay, fine. It was a Wednesday, I remember, and it was a home cell that we were having as well. So I didn't attend our home cell. I ended up going to this meeting, and oh my goodness, when I went to this meeting, it was quite scary.
To that degree,
It was quite scary, actually. But actually, preceding this, I missed a very big part, if I may say, honey. Before I made the decision that this was it for me, something happened. Do you remember that thing that made you cry so much?
I don't know. Do you want to tell you guys what made me cry?
Let me tell you the story. So the story
okay,
was
I'm gonna leave her to explain what happened, but I'm gonna come back to defend myself, okay? Because okay, go on.
So basically, what happened was it was in August, and I'll never forget. I was quite good with like months and stuff. And I remember we were youth leaders at the time, inner city youth in Hillbrow, and we had planned this massive big event. So me and Ken, I don't think anybody knows this about us, but during our courtship days, we had a bunch of young people that we are part of our youth that we used to always hang around with in our same age group. And one of the things that we did together was we did ballroom dancing. We did ballroom dancing together. So during our courtship, we were like basically doing ballroom dancing, didn't we? And I'll never forget when we were doing this youth event. One of the things that we were practicing was for the ballroom dancing, because we danced. Remember? And so we had loads of people coming. I think over 200 people in friends.
Can't remember.
Yeah, there was quite a lot. And I cooked, as usual. I cooked a massive pot of chicken curry and rice. I was selling it in the event. And then with all the young people doing modeling and dancing and singing and everything. I think even at one stage we even sang a song together. Do you remember? Even Custody and Leon were there as well. It was a good big event. So after the event was a big success, but I was very wary because what had happened was I had to make a decision about whether or not I was getting a lot of negative feedback from my family about whether or not, he's mixed race, this is not what we want for you. Came to Johannesburg, you're very naive. He's gonna take advantage of you. He's gonna, use you for your money. Silly things that family was saying. Let me finish before I forget, baby.
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously I had all of these voices speaking to my head, and I remember being so confused and so overwhelmed, being a young 20-year-old person.
Listen, your dad said Kendrick is the man. So I just needed to read it. Yes, sir. Go for it.
And so basically, honestly, my heart was so heavy. So I'm not trying to spiritualize, we don't get to preach. But one of the things I remember doing is going on my knees and saying to the Lord. It was a Saturday when we had the night burn. It was called night burn, the youth event. We call it night burn, and it was a Saturday. And I remember praying about it. We were going. We finished the night burn, and I remember being very stressed out about the whole thing. And I said to you afterwards, I'm meaning to speak. Do you remember? I said, "Will you drop me off? Let me finish, baby. Drop me off. Let's just have a few moments because it's late also. So do you mind just coming to me? I just want to tell you something." And I decided, I think after night burn, that I'm going to break up with Kendrick because I just feel like I just don't need this burden in my life because I'm young. I don't even know what he's going to bring to the table. I have all these negative voices in my ears, but yet there's something in my heart. The best way to describe it was like a magnetic pull.
Yeah.
That was the best way. It was like a magnet drawing me to you. There was nothing that at the time there was nothing that you had to offer me. You weren't even working full time. You didn't have anything like that could say to me, the stable. But
young boy,
in the young innocence, 21, you turned 21.
Yeah.
In the young innocent mind, I just knew that for some reason, there's one thing settled in my heart. Even myself, I didn't even know what was speaking to me, and I prayed. So but I told you after night when we were breaking up, and then you were crying like a baby.
Now,
crying with slut tears. Oh my word!
Listen now, okay.
Moving sight to my life. Can I just say it?
Yeah, go on.
My heart was even moved for you.
Go
Honestly, I even that moment I felt like, God, I love this guy.
Jesus.
Because the way you cried, I felt so sorry. My heart was broken. You know, my children cry when they hurt their finger. I want to cry when Shiloh hurts herself. It's the best way to describe it. My heart, my maternal heart. I was actually crying for you. I said, oh my God, I really like this guy so much. Why am I doing this to him? And then he cried. And then like a gentleman afterwards, and you said, there's nothing I can do to change your mind. I said, nope. I said, what we need is a miracle. And then you left it.
Careful that you're shaking the feet.
And you left it. But
now, before you continue, just remember this. Now,
I mean, you can't watch it. You can't make it.
No, obviously, I did. But let me explain why. Because I had no other card to play. At the time, that was my best card I could pull. It's like, Lord, I know what I want. This I can see. What I want is right in front of me. So what? I can't say, listen, I'm gonna build you a great future. I wasn't even working at the time, and all of these kind of things. It's like, and obviously the me being mixed race and her being Indian, I know that all the odds were stacked against us.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I was like, no, man. When kind of like when you just moved out of your mama's house, and when you wanted something, you kind of like just you don't know what to do. You just kind of cry and hope
for the best.
Hopefully the tears will move something in the right direction. And I'm gonna leave it to. So I can't justify that it happened, bro. Yeah, but it worked though. Look, this is where we're sitting today.
But in any case, having said that, I was really heartbroken by your tears. I was really, but I didn't know how to feel because I didn't know what to do. I was just so lost. And I prayed that night and I said, Lord, please, if this guy is really meant for me, I remember saying this to myself. And everything starts with a decision. But the thing is, you have to know yourself as well when you make a decision.
Yeah.
You have to know, because we all have hidden agendas in life and what we want to do. I mean, I had no hidden agenda with you. There was no nothing physical going on between us because we were very naive. Remember, we had lots of people watching over us. Yeah. We were just naive. It was just all based on the emotional pull, the magnetism that we felt. And I remember praying about it. And I said to myself, it is naive. I said, Lord, you know what? If this guy is really meant for me, tomorrow at church, every Sunday I'm at church, be diligent. You give me an answer. Yeah. Just like that. And I went to church the next morning. And I was sitting next to your sister, Natasha. I don't know if Tasha, if you hear, Natasha Ludlu is Ken's sister. She played a vital role as well in, encouraging and inspiring you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that actually also pushed you to actually make a decision to go to Johannesburg. Is a letter that she wrote to you, isn't it? Just before you turned 21.
I think so.
Yeah, very inspirational letter. It was in Afrikaans. I remember trying to read it. Like, you need to decipher it. Okay. So, any case, so I just asked the Lord. And I remember being in church the next morning, and I'm sitting with Tasha, and you were sitting in the front. I think you were a bit like heartbroken, embarrassed. I don't know what, but you even didn't want to look back at me.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting in the services going on, and then Pastor Rema Colley, Rema Ministries in South Africa. If anybody's in Johannesburg will know, Rema Ministries South Africa is a massive ministry. And honestly, that's why it's so important to know what your foundation is. We were in this church for a long time, did a lot of, it really fed us. Yeah. It was fed our soul, isn't it? And I remember being there, and then Pastor Rema Colley saying, oh, we have a visitor in our church today. And I was like, oh, I wonder who this could be. And this visitor was actually Pastor Miles Monroe. And if all of you love Pastor Miles Monroe, just give a thumbs up or something, because that man is like one of the most amazing men of God, really inspired you. So our relationship started with two pastors, Pastor Miles Monroe and Pastor Paul Yongicho. Do you remember that book, the fourth dimension? How can I forget the fourth dimension? So it started with making my vision plain, reading that book, the fourth dimension, and then the second one was that Sunday, and Pastor Miles Monroe was there preaching a message. Now, this is the message he preached. I tried to Google it. I tried to find the video. Me and Ken have been trying to find that video for the last, I think, 6 months. We've been trying to see, are we going to get that video? But I'm sure everything is archived. I've said if you go to South Africa, we can actually go to Rema Church to see if they have it archived. But in that video, Pastor Miles Monroe came up to the church, came up to the podium, and he was like, oh, I've come to drop in to see Pastor Ray and the church family today. And basically, he wasn't coming to Rema, he was going to Hatfield in Pretoria to see one of the pastors there. And he came and he said, I'm here today because I know I've been called here for somebody. And this message is for somebody. And the message he preached basically on that day was about Moses and Zipporah. And if you know the story about Moses and Zipporah was from the Cushite clan, and she was very dark skinned, and she Cushite, was so she was from a different race. And Moses' brother and sister Aaron and Miriam didn't actually
They didn't approve
They
of the
didn't approve
relationship.
of her.
Yeah.
And there's a story about they got cursed with leprosy and stuff. But in any case, I'm not going to talk about that story. But Pastor Miles was talking about that, and he said something profound. He said, if you are with somebody today and everybody's saying no, and you have that magnetism, the word he uses, magnetism, and it's drawing you to that person. And no matter how much you try to pull away, you just can't. You just don't know, but you know that you know that you know, but you don't know why you know that you know that you know. That sealed it for me. I didn't even have to think twice. And that's where my journey, I decided, okay, this boy, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm going to marry him. I'm going to marry him.
So which means me crying was for nothing. I should have cried because the Lord already sent somebody to bring the message to say, all right, this is the one. Because obviously he was preaching about, the
he was talking specifically about mixed relationships. And how, don't deny things just because people want to deny it on your behalf. You need to know what you need to know.
Yeah.
And and what I realized about me always, I know this about myself. As I said to you, you have to know yourself. I know I have a calling in my life. I know that God set me aside for something. The journey when I was in that time, you came and kind of detoured me from a lot of things. But together, I think we've been on a journey together where God has brought us back together. Now, like I said, we don't want to preach or anything, but unfortunately, this is our life. This is the road that we've taken. And I remember after making the decision, obviously when we had that meeting with my mom's, my uncle and my extended family, they were like really against it completely. I never in my life felt so, in the firing spot. I was like this one single person sitting there, and everybody was around me. My cousins, my mommy, my uncle, my aunties, and everybody was saying to me why this was such a wrong relationship. Why it was such a wrong relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I add something there? Yeah. One of the things that I kind of like, because obviously we're talking about why was it such a fight because of us not, she's not mixed, I'm mixed, and she's Indian. Why was it such a fight? Because remember now, we met in 1997. Apartheid kind of like were abolished when Mandela was released in 1993.
Before, I think,
3, 4, around there.
Really
so which means we're looking at about maybe 4 years, 3-4 years. So which means South Africa, even now, South Africa is still very strong when it comes to apartheid. It's still there. It's going to take a law many, many, many generations, to do away with that. But so I just wanted to paint the picture, because I remember when I went to visit uncle, once, and I think we went for a party or something.
Oh, you went to, the wedding.
A wedding or something, and one of the things that really stuck with me, I can't remember even if I've mentioned this to her. There was this colored boy, colored mix, it's just I can't say it because in the UK the word colored is derogatory, isn't it?
It is derogatory.
Yeah, but back in South
Africa,
it's like
that's your race.
You're colored, isn't it? So
okay, stop saying the word.
All right, sorry. All right, I mixed. Okay, so so the only mix the mixed person I saw at the time when I went to your uncle's house was the guy that was doing the garden. I don't know if you remember. I remember him so very well. And it's kind of like the thought that dropped in my mind is almost like, are you telling me that our daughter is now going to marry a guy that equivalent to the gardener kind of thing? You see where, because obviously it was because when it comes to the race, there is that kind of like, all right,
division.
There's the white, there's the Indian, there's the color, there's the black, and all the different, and everyone has their own perception of where everybody should fit in.
Yeah.
Now, can you remember?
I remember, because my uncle had a lot of mixed race people working for him. But my uncle was a really nice person. The whole family were lovely.
Absolutely.
But I think when you try to, the unknown is always scary for for a lot of people, isn't it? I mean, my cousins and all got along very well with you. I think everybody kind of like, as things took off and we got married and we had our kids, I think the whole family is a unit of people now, isn't it?
Yeah,
we all like get along quite well, but it started off very bumpy, to say the least. And I must say, I felt the pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
But what hardened my heart to the pressure was I knew that this was the right thing. And together we were like, I wouldn't say we were like a power couple or anything, but we understood where we were going and what we wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, Ken treated me very well. That makes a big difference. He's just treated me very well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's why he's much loved by the family, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You know that, don't you? Mommy
Yeah,
said
I'm kind of like, can I just say?
What are you gonna say?
I'm the favorite.
I don't know. You don't be putting things out there. Yeah, well, you're my mom's favorite. You forget she got a
because she feeds me with her hand and everything. So, wishing, what does that tell you? Oh, yes, Roland, sir. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, awesome. Was just an awesome. Yeah, he was just an awesome man of God, isn't it? Let me see. We else got some things out there. All right, go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah. So that's our journey. So we stuck it by, and 1 year of marriage. We got married. We got engaged in May 1st, your birthday, and we got married in December 16th. And as they say, it was an interesting journey. Lots of humps and bumps. A lot of things happened that year to our marriage and our planning for wedding.
But I still want to paint a more vivid picture about, because obviously I know that she was the one that kind of like really went through the challenges of
sorry.
Oh, she keeps on moving the camera with the feet. So sorry.
The short feet, honey.
Yeah, you're gonna give people a headache, don't you?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, guys. I think I still want us to paint a vivid picture as to the challenges that we've gone through. You know, and I think sometimes
you can tell it because you can see it from your perspective. Because for me, I was like, one of the things about me, if I make a decision, I make a decision. That's it. Yeah. I remember the point where I said to my mom, listen, you raised me up well. I grew up in a very conservative family. You told me right and wrong. But if you're going to listen to people around you telling me that, I'm making the wrong decision, then you obviously don't believe that you've done a good job raising me.
Yeah.
And I said, that's fine, mommy. I'm so confident about Ken that I'm going to just say to you, just forget you got a daughter. If it brings you that heartbreak, I remember telling that to my mommy.
Yeah.
And my daddy was obviously the one speaker. My daddy's like, leave her. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
My dad's like, don't do that. Don't push our child away.
So what she's actually saying, she was willing to.
Yeah, I was willing to.
What's your word now?
Go there. Put my life down
You put your family aside.
Yeah.
For me.
And that's why I threatened you.
And I think yes, it did. It's like, boy, if you
mess around with me, that's it for you. I didn't say to
I know
you.
she was gonna come for me, but
yeah.
So basically, God did me a favor. No, He did. He did me a favor, because I had nothing to put on the table. I had nothing to offer, apart from what myself and what she saw. And I think that's what is making me to be so grateful and kind of like, because sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
We forget what the favor God, the favor that God is, says, He favored me.
Yeah.
He favored me, and it's.
But the thing is also, it's about, I do believe in purpose and destiny.
Yeah.
And I know you know that in your heart, even when you left Johannesburg, that something was pulling you there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I knew as well.
Yeah. And sometimes we have these conversations, and the fact that I want to mention, I had nothing to offer. Sometimes when we talk, and I just kind of like tell her how I grew up, and then she would tell, "My goodness, you were really poor."
I don't say it like that.
No. Wait. Let me tell you why. She used to tell me, you were really poor. No, because remember now, sometimes I would say to her that, we didn't have no TV.
Mongo, good evening.
Hey, Mongo, good evening, man. Good to see you. Thank you so much for jumping on. I would say to
Tasha.
I would say to her that she would tell me, you were really poor.
Yeah, but it's
because no, let me just explain why. Let me I'm not trying to make you look bad.
Just explain the situation, baby.
Because I would tell her that, we never had a TV. And even when we had a TV, the first one we got obviously was a black and white TV. And I would tell you that how I would go and watch TV at my auntie's house. And then we would pay 5 cents, And even if if the house is full, you still have to pay the 5 cents, but then you have to watch through the window.
I think you had the best childhood
No,
ever. The stories you tell me, I absolutely loved the fact that you guys could just walk into each other's house and there were like there was no such thing as
yeah.
blood auntie and uncle. Everybody was everybody's auntie and uncle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your mom like was a mother of almost every child I think in that neighborhood because I
Yeah.
remember that was so admirable about her.
Yeah.
She just loved children, didn't she? She was a
Yeah.
teacher by profession.
But
So-
I just like how when I tell you these stories, it's kind of like
Because we had a color TV all
because
my
you
life.
guys, I know. I know.
I mean, I didn't mean it in a bad way. It was just
No, I'm not saying it
Okay,
to
no,
make
no, I
you
know you
feel
didn't. I was
bad
just
or
saying.
anything. I'm just kind of like highlighting that I didn't have much to
Yeah.
bring to the table.
Yeah.
I only had myself, and that's kind of like now you have this lady, and
I had nothing. I don't even know why you said
No.
I was all that because I had nothing as well to offer you, but myself as well.
Yeah.
I think it's your perception, your idea of things.
my-
That's why I'm saying you don't have to. It's so important to
Mm.
know,
Mm.
you know yourself and know what you want in life and be confident. Because me, I had no
Yeah.
confidence as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still lack a lot of confidence in myself.
Yeah.
And it's,
yeah.
it's an
yeah.
ongoing process. But I think for me, like the Jeremiah Maguire saying that you complete me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's not true because each individual is a complete person. But
Yeah.
in many ways, you compliment me. You make me see the best in me.
Mm.
Whenever I have negative thoughts or I feel down about
Can I get
myself,
an amen there? Put the amen, please.
and vice versa, Annie, and vice versa.
Sorry.
And vice versa.
Yes,
But-
yes. Uh-huh. Go on. Sorry, just joking, guys.
Yeah,
Go
no.
on.
And I think about, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's the beginnings.
Yeah.
I just think I know
Yeah.
God was on our side. It's all about, it's like almost like God prepares your life and finishes the pathway.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
just have to walk that path. And sometimes there'll be detours left and right. And there were detours, weren't
Yeah.
they? It was
Absolutely.
just a moment where I decided this was going to be the end of us.
Mm.
But the thing is, I decided I'm going to ask God for some help. And then he kind of just reined me in and said, no, this guy is the one for you. And honestly, I don't regret any of what I
Yeah.
went through. I feel like it made us stronger. It made us love each other more.
Yeah.
Nobody, unless you've been through the journey with us from the very beginning and seeing what we had to go through, even, I think then you would appreciate, the
Yeah.
journey that we've been through.
It's always when you see it in hindsight, when everything has passed. At the time when you find yourself in a certain situation, it feels like the worst or the best thing ever. But then you kind of like look back. I'm glad things happened the way that it happened.
Yeah.
Because they kind of like that is now if you've learned the lessons. Because sometimes we go through things but we don't learn the lessons.
Yeah.
And I think that is very important. But now, what can we kind of like highlight to you guys through this experience? Because every relationship, I believe, has its challenges. For us, it was just because we were different.
Yeah.
We were different in terms of our race. That was one of the challenges that we faced.
It's one of list of challenges.
Yeah, that's just, and I'm sure that many of you can say the same thing. We're just sharing where we were at the time.
And can I just say something? Challenges are a very good thing.
It's good
when you're a couple.
It's good.
Don't despise it. Even like when you go to trials and tribulations in life, don't despise it. Don't wish you had a perfect life because when you're somebody who's been, God can't mend things that are broken. You can't see people for who they are, what they are, unless you're going through something, because that's when you see who your true friends are, the true people in your life are. Like for us, with me and Ken, a lot of things happen between us. It just made us stronger. And one of the things that I know we always say is like my motto in our family, in our life is teamwork makes the dream work. Because for us, we as a couple, we can do anything together. Yeah, you have to be like-minded. You have to have the same vision. You have to go in the same direction. So I just want to encourage couples, like, no marriage is perfect, and you don't have to pretend to be perfect all the time, because marriage and relationship is always something you have to work on 24/7. There'll always be things coming up. If it's not work messing up things, or the kids playing up, or finances playing up, misunderstandings, whatever, the thing is, you need to know what is the foundations of your marriage and relationship for you to make it work, because it's always workable. One thing knocks you down doesn't mean it has to break you apart. It doesn't. You have to rise above it. Like success in life is not success unless you fail a few times. And sometimes you have to knock heads together as a couple so that you can actually evolve and become better. I like to say that I bring the king out of you,
Ooh,
right? And I would like to say that you bring out the queen in me.
Yes, indeed,
Because,
man. Thank you.
because we
Give me, I want some.
oh,
I want
sorry,
some.
darling.
I thought you wanted some.
Sorry. No, I could talk a lot without drinking water.
Yes,
You
sir.
can't.
So she said she brings the king out of me. Absolutely
Yeah,
right.
because I didn't marry a fool.
Yeah,
That's my job
yeah.
and that's my role in life, isn't it?
Can I say something? Why was it crucial for her to bring the king out of me? And she continued to do so. You know how I just left to go and get this water. You know what happened once? We went to a conference.
Oh, yes. Yes, you
You
see,
know,
our relationship is a lot about conflict. We just go to a lot of conflicts.
we went to a conference, and I think
TD Jake's conference.
Yeah, a TD Jake's conference. And what happened was, Rochelle, it's teamwork relationship. Yes, sir, absolutely teamwork that makes the dream work. Remember to. Black and white. Yes, no, man, that's right, sir. Black and white, bro. And you have to like figure out. You don't even know the time that the color of the box were green, isn't it? But green and yellow. It's like, no, it's black and white. All right, let me get back to the story. So we went to a conference the same way I left. So I'm kind of like telling you guys how she kind of like, had to continue to bring the king out of me.
Sort you out.
So we went to this conference.
Mm-hmm.
And we were running out of seats, and the only thing was
you went to the front to find us some seats.
Yeah, and the only thing is you either go and look for seats inside, or you go to the overflow. So I told her, listen, yeah, I'm gonna go inside, and I'm gonna go and look for some seats
for both of us.
For both of us.
Yeah.
Guess what?
You found a seat for yourself.
I found a seat for myself.
You sat there, third row.
I found a seat. I said, I'm right here in front by the man of God.
Not moving.
I am not going anywhere. And I sat there and I just, wow. I forgot that she was waiting outside. She had to go to the overflow.
Yeah, I watched it. But then I did preach to you afterwards, didn't I?
No, but I remember there is no, that's right, ma'am. There is no I in team. That's it. And but somebody said there is a M and an E for me. But that's not, yeah, but you're right, there's no.
So that was you, that me, yeah, me.
And
but things like that, you'll be laughing about it.
Yeah.
But even that small little thing you did, I remember challenging you on that and say, this is going to be our life.
I know.
I don't even know how, but I think we kind of trained each other while we were still courting to master a few things. You remember, honey?
Yeah.
There was once where we were having a disagreement about something, and I remember you said, and you just walked out of there. I'm like, okay, fine, you walk out of here, don't come back. Because this is not what I'm looking forward to.
And you remember, so there's some stuff that I used to do and I didn't. I don't know how this lady managed to stick with me.
Ken can be really
because I would
moody. Yeah, you are moody.
But now I'm kind of like
well, sometimes I see it there. I'll just start to just smack it out.
Lay hands. No, not eat. Pray.
No,
pray.
That doesn't mean prayer. That you just need to stop it.
That's it, yeah. So that was the one time I left her. And I was like, no, I want to sit here and I want to watch the man of God. And then, there was one time when me and Rosh and Gabriel, I think we came from the gym and we're traveling in a taxi.
Gabriel Bakiti,
And what happened was we were short on money to pay the taxi. Yeah. And we told him, listen, you just drop us off here. He said, no, but this is the address you gave. I don't know if you remember this.
I'm trying to remember it.
And me and Gabriel were like, we kind of like, playing tough. We started arguing with this guy now to say, no, just. I remember that. And then when I realized this guy is starting to be serious now, he's not even making no jokes. And he can't, because you don't know whether this guy's got a knife or a gun. And you know what I said? I said, listen, you guys, I will go and find the rest of the money. I left the two of them in the. I left you and Gabriel in the. Remember? I told you, I'm going to go to your flat. Number one, I did not even have the key for the flat. The only thing I could think of was, I need to get out of here. I thought
that was silliness in those days.
I didn't even. It's like
so we got the money eventually.
Yeah, we did. No, the guy let you guys go. Let you guys go. I went to the flat and I was like pacing up and down. Where am I gonna get a 2 rands from now? Where am I gonna get a 2 rands from? I even asked George, George security, I asked him and then I saw the two of you walking in. And then you went out, we went upstairs and you just shut the door in my face and said, Gabriel, let's just go home. Yeah, so but so many lessons. And I think that's kind of like part of the journey. That's part of the journey, and we kind of like appreciate it.
But I think because of what we went through, we decided we are going to make this thing work no matter what. Because it's almost like we had to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? We had to, and you had a lot to prove, I think. And I got to a stage where, not that you needed to, but I feel like, there was always eyes on you, like you're under the microscope. And, sorry, man.
Let's see how we're doing for time. We don't want, we're keeping you guys for a long time here. We need to wrap it up.
But obviously, with time, things evolved, you grew up and I grew up.
But you know what? Let me mention one more thing. This lady really stuck, with me through thick and thin.
We're a team, man. That's what we do.
One of the things I remember when I was kind of like doing a job where I went to sell.
Oh, gosh. My goodness.
I went to sell educational programs, and we used to go to Lenasia in Lens because Indian people, they are very strong on education, so that was our target market. Our target market, because we were selling children's educational programs, and she used to even pay for my transport, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to help you out in those days.
Man, I'm telling you, when the Lord sends you something, He sends you something really good for the time. And I remember what happened.
You didn't have a choice. So you have to become the best person you can ever become, and a great man.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I'm not there yet, isn't it?
You're almost there, baby. Almost there.
So
you can never get there. If you're there already, then what's the point of improving yourself and growing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm always going to encourage you to grow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Carry on the story, babe. Very good story. Always makes me laugh, the story.
Yeah,
always.
And we're gonna just wrap it up here. But I just wanted to encourage you guys, and when you are in a relationship, especially when somebody's with you, and give them their everything to you, whilst you have nothing much to offer. That's really God sent. And I remember when I used to go and sell these educational programs, and that was like we will go early in the morning and come back like very late at night. We'll go from door to door, and just do our
presentation. You had to do whatever you had to do.
And just do our presentation. And one day, what these guys did, they kind of like were a mixture of men and women, and so we will go. Everybody will be dropped off, and then you have to come back. So one day, one lady did not come back to the car. You would have thought, all right, it's a lady. It's dark. It's 11 o'clock in the night. The guys will go back and just look for her.
They left her, didn't they?
They left her. And it's like, no, don't worry. She'll find her own way. You know where she slept? She slept outside a shop for the night. And we had to find her own way back. And I was like to Rosh, no, listen here. If they can leave a lady out there in the middle of nowhere, 12 o'clock at night,
I
don't think I'm gonna go back, because so which mean I'll be unemployed again. And so these are kind of like the experiences that really like strengthened, and the way she responded to that was, it was very encouraging, because you don't want somebody to like talk down on you and say all kind of things that discourage you. But that's kind of like what we got for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you got something from that. And I think the main thing I guess we want to highlight is every relationship has challenges.
Don't give up.
Every relationship has challenges, and regardless of what your challenge is right now. And obviously right now, it's not like our challenges. No, man, challenges are even bigger now.
Yeah.
It's not even smaller, it's bigger. But
even the biggest challenge doesn't seem like overwhelming, because when you've been through so much and you were banging your head against the wall or climbing the high mountain or facing the fire or whatever, it's like the more you go through in life, the more stronger and harder you get it. and you can overcome it. It's like it's like you remember the days like when you tried to buy my first car, and then it was so difficult to buy the first car, the first house, and then all of a sudden now 20 years later you're on your fourth or fifth car. Do you know what I mean? You always start when you initially start, it seems impossible. It's like having that first child. Oh, when are we gonna afford it? Next month, you like 5 children later.
That's right.
We like feel like, oh my God, that in itself is a testament, isn't it?
That's right.
So yeah, and always remember why you're on this journey with your spouse. Why did you get into this relationship? Why did you get into this marriage? What do you want to achieve? Where are you going? I really believe the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. And if you see yourself as somebody who's righteous and your steps are ordered, there's always good at the end of it. That's, and I don't know why Jeremiah 29:11 just resonates in my spirit. He has, so just remember that when you as a couple, that God has plans for you all together. You're not on a journey by yourself, but together as a couple.
That's right.
Yeah. And
awesome. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that was helpful, and thank you so much for taking out the time.
It's a lot of time we took up this.
Yeah, and you guys just stuck with us throughout.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate that, and we definitely will see you guys next week. Have an amazing week, and we are really honored for you to take out the time to join us. All right. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you all soon. All right. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.